Hi guys, this is Sadak from Debugging.com. In this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest LineageOS ROM based on Android 16 onto the Pixel 6, 7, 8, 9 and the Fold and the tablet. So please take a backup of all that on your phone and let's get started. So first and foremost, get the ROM file from this link, ROM file and all the IMG file as well. So go here and scroll down to the device for your Pixel phone from Google, expand the Google section and then use your phone from here. In my case, it's the Pixel 6a. So get all the files, the ROM file. Okay, one more very important part. In case of the Pixel 6, 6a and 6 Pro, you will get the boot, DTBO and the vendor boot and the ROM file. So we require the 4 files, the ROM, boot, DTBO and the vendor boot. But for the Pixel 7, 8, 9, Fold and tablet, there's one more file which is the vendor kernel boot. So let me show you that as well. Let's keep this open in this tab only. In a new tab, let me open any other phone, let's say the Pixel 8 Pro, the sake of reference. And you will see we have one more file, vendor kernel boot. So just to repeat once again, for the Pixel 6 series, the 6a, 6 and the 6 Pro, you will have to get the ROM file, boot, DTBO and the vendor boot. But for the Pixel 7, 8, 9 and the tablet and the, let's say, 4 series, also you have to get one more file, which is the vendor kernel boot. So ROM, boot, DTBO, vendor boot and the vendor kernel boot. So get all these files. Once you've got the file, let me show you just once again. This is the compressed file of the ROM and this is all the other files, boot, DTBO and vendor boot. And some case will be vendor kernel boot as well. So once you've got all the files, let's move to the next step. So first off, get the Android SDK from my article, extract them onto your PC. You may do so anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive and let me show you. The files of platform tools are over here. Once you've done the extraction, your next step is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command and OEM unlocking is required to unlock the phone. So let's enable both the toggles. For that, go to settings, then go to about phone and type on build number 7 times. Then go back, go to system, dev options and enable OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You'll get a prompt, type on OK. You might get one more prompt, type on allow, and with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let me first do a verification for that. So type in CMD in the address bar of platform tools, hit the enter key, type in the command ADB devices and verify that you are having an ID. As you can see, we are having this ID. If that's all well and good, let's move to the next step. Okay, one more thing, you'll have to be on stock Android 16. Android 15 will not work, so please be on Android 16 and only then flash the ROM file. If that's all well and good. So now let's unlock the phone as well. For that, boot the phone to Fastboot mode, then use the Fastboot flashing unlock command. You'll get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, the phone will be unlocked and you will be taken to the OS once again. So once that is complete, please re-enable USB debugging after the unlocking is complete. So I made a video on that as well. You may have a look at the video and get the job done. Moving on, our next step is to boot the phone to Fastboot mode. But before that, please transfer the file inside the folder of platform tools, the ROM file and the IMG files. All the IMG files, let's copy it from here, paste it here. Also rename it. For example, it should be just the boot file. If you have any numbers at the end, please remove those numbers. Likewise, this should be the vendor boot only. And this should be the DTBO. Do the same with the vendor kernel boot if you have that file as well. Likewise, transfer the ROM zip file inside the folder of platform tools. This is the ROM file. Copy it, paste it here. For the ease of convenience, let's do a renaming and rename it to, let's say, rom.zip. Once that is done, let's now boot the phone to Fastboot mode. For that, the command is ADB, reboot, bootloader and hit the enter key. The phone should be in the Fastboot mode in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to complete. And once it's in the Fastboot mode, you'll have to verify the Fastboot as well from the PC. For that, type in the command of Fastboot devices and verify that you are having an ID. Let me show you. As you could see, we're having this ID. If you're not having any ID, then please install the Fastboot drivers onto your PC. Link for that is given in my article only. Once you install the drivers, right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and verify your phone is shown here under the Android phone section, as you could see. If that's all well and good, then our next action is to flash the ROM file. First off, let's flash the IMG file. So let's flash the boot file. Copy the command, paste the command in the CMD window. After that, we have the file of DTBO and then we have the vendor boot. So let's paste the command here. Finally, if you are on Pixel 7, 8, 9, 4 or tablet, then please flash the vendor kernel boot as well. The command is this one. So copy and paste the command here as well in the CMD window. Once you flash all the required files, type in the command of fastboot, reboot, recovery, hit enter. The phone should now be in the LineageOS recovery in just a few seconds. So let's wait for that to complete. And once we're inside the recovery, we will then move ahead with the next step, which involves doing a factory reset. So wait for a few more seconds. After this Google logo, which should be in the recovery, and first off, go to factory reset, format data, again format data. Data wipe should now be complete in a few seconds. So now go back, so apply update, apply from ADB, and type in the command ADB devices and verify you are having the sideload keyword. As you could see in our case, we are having this keyword. If that's all well and good, now type in the command of ADB sideload, file name which is rom.zip, hit the enter key. The flashing will now start, take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's wait for that to complete. So guys, the flashing is now complete. If you want to flash any other zip file such as GApps, tap on yes, or else tap on no in my case. So let's flash a GApp for the sake of reference, although it's optional. I'll show you how to flash it. So I will tap on yes. The phone will now go to the recovery mode once again. In the meantime, let's get the GApp packages from our article. It should be here only, or I will link that article in my video. So this is the GApp packages. There are quite a lot of GApps, as you could see from here. The core GApps, the basic, the omni, the stock, and the full. The core has the least number of GApps, whereas the full has all the GApp packages. For now, I'm using the core GApps, and you could use it from the light GApps, Nick GApps, mind the gaps, or bit GApps. So for now, I'm using the Nick GApps. You may use the mind the gaps or light as well. It's your choice. So open the link of your choice. Go to download now. Release section. From there, choose the Android version, the date, and now the GApp package. I'm using the core GApps, which is over here. So once you have got the GApp package, transfer it inside the folder of platform tools. Let's do a transfer. This is the core GApp, paste it here. Likewise, do a renaming and rename it to, let's say, GApps, and the name becomes gapps.zip. Once that is done, choose apply update from ADB. And now let's flash this file as well. For that, type in the command ADB sideload, file name which is gapps.zip, hit the enter key. Depending on the GApp package, the flashing time will vary. In my case, okay, you might get the warning as well. Tap on yes. So as I was saying, in my case, I'm using the core GApp, which has hardly 4 to 5 GApp packages. So flashing will very fast. But if you're using the stock or the full GApps, in that case, the flashing will take some time, which is quite obvious because you have to flash around, I guess, 12, 13, 14 GApp packages. So, but in my case, it should be just around 4 to 5 GApp packages. So it should be done in a few more seconds. Let's see over here. The Google Play Store, Google Service Framework, Google Play Services. And apart from that, Google Calendar Sync Adapter, Google Contact Sync Adapter, and that is sufficiently done. So once you have flashed all the files, whether you have flashed GApps or not, your last action is to do a factory reset once again. It's very important. So right after flashing a ROM file and before flashing a ROM file, in both the cases, please do a format data. And it's now done in a few seconds. Finally, you may go back now and tap on reboot system now. The phone will now boot to the OS, but the first booting up will take up some time. I guess 30-40 seconds. That's all normal, nothing to worry about. So let's keep a tab on the boot logo or the boot animation. That will signify that we have done the flashing successfully. And I guess it should now appear in 5 to 10 more seconds. So let's at least wait for that. This is the boot animation, and now the ROM might take a few more seconds for it to boot to the OS. So let's wait for that to complete. And with this, the setup is now complete. So let's get going. Hit the start button. And next, language is fine. SIM card missing, no issue. Skip this for now if you want. You may connect to Wi-Fi, link your Google account, and restore all the app data. But that will take ages, so I'm skipping that for now. Let's skip all of this. Theme dark is fine. Gesture navigation is fine. Hit the start button, and we are now inside the OS. As you might be aware, Google is yet to release the source code of Android 16 QPR1. So still using the QPR0 source code, as you could see. So you will not get the new UI over here. The Android 16 theme is also missing, but that is quite obvious. With that said, I flashed the GApp package, so I'm having a few GApps, which is the Google Play Store over here, and a few other backend files. Third-party apps are nothing as such, so it's great to see. Settings, from here, let's go to the display section. Brightness level, adaptive brightness, dark theme. Do we have black theme? No. Okay, pure black is there. I was not aware of this. That's great to see. Then rotation settings, screensavers, you may add it from here. Tap to sleep, let me see. It's working. Tap to wake is also working. The black theme I was not aware of. I just love this black theme. In the system section, buttons, invert layout, edge long swipe action. I don't use it because this tends to conflict with the back gesture. Still, let me show you. Let's say recent apps switcher and open, as you could see, but I don't really use this option because it's conflicting. Power menu, advanced restart is there as well. Let's do a long press of the power menu and you could see we have the options to reboot to the system, recovery, fastboot D and the fastboot. No system UI, but I guess it's fine, not a major issue. Then let's go back. Show panel on the left hand side, click to take partial screenshot. Let's enable that as well. Status bar, from here you may enable quick pull down. Let's see. Okay, once again, I guess a UI restart is required right now. Let me unlock and log and see if it works or not. Again, it's not working, so a UI is required restart. I will not do an OS restart because OS will take a lot of time. That is why we need to have a UI restart, but it's not there. System icons, you must sure hide the icons from here. Clock positioning is fine. Show seconds, let's add that. AM, PM, you may add that as well. Battery style, let's say circle, and you could see it's changed. I need the battery percentage as well. It's here next to the icon and it's not shown. Then apart from that, what all is there? Gestures, double press power button is fine. Navigation, one hand mode, tap to check phone. Okay, nothing fancy as such. Then you may solve the OT update from this page or via the AWS titles as well. Both will work. And apart from that, I don't think there is anything new as such. Okay, in the wallpaper style section, you may change the theme from this section or from here. Switch to light theme from here or switch back to the dark theme. Then theme icons can be enabled from this section, and the app grid size is here. You could see maximum is 6x6, but 5x5 is fine for me. Icons in the status bar, let's go with the SAM. Okay, this is fine. Then we have the font, around 3-4 fonts are there. Let's choose this one randomly. Icon shapes, I always use the pebble which is over here and hit the apply key. It's now applied and that is it. Okay, the lock screen clock size is there or not? Let me see from here. No, only one single clock size and rest are the same as before. In the home settings, notification access is required for me for this launcher. Tribute launcher, let's enable this, allow. Then hide, you may hide the app from the section. Bring it back from here as well. Just one single tap is required. Enable theme icon in the app drawer. And that is just about it, I guess. Nothing else. So guys, if you have any query with regard to any of the steps, let me know in the comment section. And thanks a lot for watching.